you've been playing guitar or drums for since 2.5, and then you meet Jim. Jim, when did you strap on a guitar? Did you even know how to play guitar when you met Dennis?
Barely. No, I mean, I could play. Yeah, no, I could play chords. Well, I gotta say, I started off with accordion first, and when I was 7 years old, 1964, and coincidentally, Mike, our bass player, had the same accordion teacher at the same time. He, I guess he was the only accordion teacher in town. But I didn't really know Mike then, although I did have my communion with him when we were 7 years old because we went to the same church. But I wasn't friends with him until high school because he was in a different school district. Even though he lived right around the corner from me, it was a dividing line. Anyway, by 66, I wanted a guitar, 1966, but my dad wouldn't get it for me because he didn't like the picture of the Beatles on that Hey Jude album. So I started playing the violin. And then, so I used to read music when I was a kid. But then by 69, I finally got a guitar. And I took some lessons from a teacher. But he was teaching me how to play like Mary Had a Little Lamb and stuff like that. And I just wanted nothing to do with that. So I got a chord book, and then I looked at the dots on it and figured out how to make the chords. And so I kind of taught myself mainly. And then when I met Dennis, I just, we started playing together, and it just clicked. And I always say this, he made me a better player because I had to keep up with him. He was much more advanced than I was. So I had to, force myself to play better. And a big thing for me was the Rolling Stones' Get Your Ya-Ya's album, the live album, because it was easy for me to, I figured out how to play Oh Carol, the way the Stones played it. And then I realized, oh my God, that's Chuck Berry. I learned later on. And then I started learning the Chuck Berry riffs. And that's how I started playing lead guitar, just from scratch, So, and then I find the notes that sound good. I didn't know till years later what a pentatonic scale was. I never knew any scales or anything. I just learned by ear.
Yeah. Did you ever get to play with Chuck Berry? Because usually he just hired local musicians, and like everyone knows a Chuck Berry song, and Springsteen did that, I think.
Yeah, we were supposed to back him up for a show, and we did play on the same bill. And he was very nice to me. He signed my picture sleeve for "You Never Can Tell," the song that they used in Pulp Fiction. Mm-hmm. So we were supposed to back him up, but then he brought a band in for that. But we did play on the same day, and I got to meet him and got to watch him drive in. He famously rents a car at the airport and drives to the gig and gets paid in cash in a briefcase, and then gets back in his car after he's done and leaves. So I'm watching this from backstage, him with his captain's hat on, making a K-turn in the parking lot. It was just so cool. Like, this is something you don't see every day, So it was cool. But we didn't get to actually play with him, but we were on the same bill.
Still a thrill, I'm sure, of course.
It was a huge thrill.
Yeah.